Every single person on self-improvement, every single person on YouTube says this. You shouldn't watch these kinds of content, educational stuff, if you're not going to take action. That's what everyone says, right? Everyone says that watching self-improvement content but not taking action is pointless. Reading self-improvement books but not taking action is pointless. I've actually realized, I think that's wrong. I think consuming educational content and books and not taking action is still infinitely better than just doing the bad habits that we're used to. I think it's better to simply just read and not go and use what you've read than it is to play video games. Now, when I said it like that, that's like, well, yeah, of course it is. Like, this is common sense, right? So we've all had this idea that no, if you're gonna watch a podcast, then you've got to make sure you've got to use it. If you're gonna read, then you've got to make sure that you take action on it. And that seems like good advice, but I realize it's actually wrong, because when we don't take action straight away, but we're just reading a book, for example, or we're watching a podcast, it's not like nothing's happening. What's happening is that our brains, like neurons and, the brain shit, is all forming new pathways, new beliefs, new mindsets, new stories to look back on that will actually lead us to go and taking action in the right way in the future. What I've seen in myself, and also probably you're experiencing this right now, and also I have seen it in literally so many guys that I've helped, is that there is an initial period of self-improvement where you only consume the content but you don't take action, and we think that this period is like a bad thing, and we feel fucking horrible when we're in this period because we're learning about the things that we should do but we don't do them, and so we feel really horrible. But what I've realized is every guy that I've seen has went through this period of consuming this educational self-improvement books and everything and not taking action, but then they start taking action afterwards. You see, if you've been obsessed recently with self-improvement, fixing your life, monk mode, and all these things, but you haven't really used it consistently in person, right now you'd probably be thinking like, yeah, this has all been a failure, I've not been able to improve my life. But I promise you that I was in the exact same boat as you, where I only consumed the content, didn't actually really take real action to it. But then eventually I went on to, and it was only when I went on to take the action that I needed to, I looked back at the months that I was reading without taking action, the months that I watched the self-improvement videos, to realize that they were actually still helping me, that I needed to first change my brain and my beliefs through that kind of content, but I didn't yet have the capacity to do the work. Does this make sense? So I know that this sounds weird, and I'm not saying this like in a way that, yeah, you should just watch my videos, keep watching my videos. No. I'm not saying to watch my videos. I'm saying to read books and to watch full-length educational podcasts, right? My videos, the recent ones, like, I've got 5 videos just recently, which you can maybe say a podcast, but most of my videos are like the short, clickbaity style. Don't watch those kinds of videos. What I'm saying is consume the good, like long, really long form, 1 to 2 hour long podcasts on YouTube by Andrew Huberman, Chris Williamson, The Diary of a CEO, these kinds of guys who are very successful guys, and they're doing like these unfiltered, unedited podcasts. I promise you that every time I sit down and really like pay attention to a full-length, unedited podcast, right? So no like fucking memes, no short form, no like highlight clip that's 5 minutes long that's like Joe Rogan's motivational advice that will change your life. No, not that bullshit. The full length educational podcast. When I sit down and watch one where I'm really paying attention to it, I swear to God, I actually like, it's like I feel my brain change and my beliefs change, and suddenly there's like a new thing that I'm keeping in mind for like the rest of my life. You don't realize how valuable it actually is to consume content. It's seen as a really like bad thing these days. Consuming pointless content, social media and shit, okay, it's bad. But education is fantastic. And again, it needs to be, like if you're watching it on YouTube, like full length podcasts, not the highlight clips. Not like, the 5-minute clip that teaches you, or Andrew Huberman's dopamine advice. No. It's like the full 2-hour Andrew Huberman episode on dopamine. And you literally sit there, take your fingers off the mouse, stop scrolling down to the comments, and just sit there and really pay attention to it. Make this your new basic attack. Recently, I've been watching this other guy, The Diary of a CEO, and that's quite nice. Specifically, if you're going to watch podcasts, specifically watch the episodes that are not just interesting, but that are specifically aligned to your goals.